Again, if you're experiencing a burnout, allow yourself to take breaks in between projects and come back energized, fresh, or creative ideas. And I wanted to summarize what I will be talking about in this video. It is being okay with trusting in the process, that making mistakes and feeling like you're a failure and just about anything, even outside of art, but also trying to find your passion in art. Those three, there's three, these three topics that we're going to discuss in the video are such a necessary step in knowing what will work out and what will help you to further yourself in this journey of art. Even if it's not related to art, it can be related to life, and I hope that it helps you. If you find any of these tips helpful, please leave a like and comment down below. If there's something that you're passionate about, or if you're trying to figure out what you want to do next, leave a comment down below on what you're trying out. So we're gonna start with trust. And a lot of times everybody who has mentioned, oh, you have to trust in the process, trust in the art process, the process of trust. And the reason why trust is such an important factor in developing, either for pursuing art or just in general, trust helps build so many opportunities, especially in being creative. You have to develop that trust because it will help you learn when taking breaks is necessary, because it is not stable. It is really not stable for you to constantly be forcing yourself to be busy as a way to be productive. And I fall into that trap because I constantly think the only way I can be productive is by forcing myself to work on videos, work on art, work on job searching. And that would be for 5 hours. And that is not sustainable for the body. It generally doesn't end well. And so building that trust will help you know when to take breaks and to understand that resting is a form of, it is helpful for coming back to a project re-energized with fresh ideas and ready to continue working on the project. And trust in yourself to develop intuition to know how to problem solve with any projects or assignments handed to you by either clients or personal projects you've assigned yourself. It's all very necessary. It's a step-by-step process, and this is very essential for you. It's essential for your art, for your mental health and physical health. It all plays into the larger picture at hand. How to give yourself or open yourself up to any opportunities given to you, because trusting yourself is being able to know when to take risks, especially creative risks in art. And developing this trusting process is not easy. It comes with time, it comes with acceptance in yourself and allowing yourself to knowing that trust can be a sense of warmth. And think of it like a hug. A quote that I read online from an article, and I will include that article in the description. I found a lot of helpful information regarding trust from this article, and my favorite line from it was, nurture yourself as a whole person and a creator. Because a lot of the time, artists don't give themselves the time or allow themselves to trust in the process, because you throw away any bad ideas that you think are useless, and you don't want to fight your intuition. You want to allow your intuition to slowly develop, and you want to cultivate that trust process in your intuition, because over time it will guide you through any problem solving situation at hand or that you are dealing with. And that is so essential. And I think that if you open yourself to trust and you allow yourself to do it and cultivate it and develop it into something more, it can actually be a way to calm your nerves and allow you to access feelings of ease and security, meaning it could act like a way to, again, like I said earlier, calm your nerves. You're feeling stressed. You are not sure if you should go with this project. But if you develop that trust, it will allow you to know that everything will be okay, and that even if the project is bad, it is a learning curve. It is a necessary step in learning how to be okay when you are either experiencing sadness or you're stressed. It's okay to be sad or stressed or angry. It's all a part of the process, and that is something that I have just found out, and I'm learning how to do the same thing. So hopefully all of these have been helpful. And the most important thing, I feel that in trusting the process, a lot of the time you're not given reasons as to why you should. And this article or this blog that I found, I'll link it in the description. It is such an eye-opener, and they explain it so well with why trust is such an important factor in not only creative career paths, but just in general life. Because I personally struggle with confidence and trusting in myself and trusting in my intuition that can carry me through any problem solving situation. And I don't trust in myself enough, and that is what I also struggle with. So know that you're not alone. It's something that is not developed overnight. It takes a very long time. Okay, so we just covered trusting the process and how that builds cognitive skills such as innovation, imagination, and problem solving. But not only that, but also, just opening yourself up for new opportunities and just building intuition, finding a way to let that trust guide you along such a challenging obstacle that we call life. Just be able to lean into trust to open doors for you, and not only like career paths and just like, for yourself. It is such an eye opener and a way to actually give you a sense of warmth and knowing everything happens for a reason, even though it doesn't. It just gives you a sense of warmth in terms of like a hug, being that it's a necessary step, no matter if it's sad or, you know, it's the joys and pleasures in life, but also there's the sadness and angry moments as well. And that's why we learn to cherish both rather than just fixate on, the happy and pleasures in life rather than only the sad and the frustrating moments. We want them to both be a part of our lives. And that is a perfect segment way into the next topic, which is don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to make mistakes and allow yourself to take breaks in between projects and come back energized. And the reason why this is brought up is because a lot of people, regardless if you're working as an artist, regardless if you're working as a performance artist, like this applies to anyone, but I'm specifically speaking from a fine arts major, specifically animation, and burnout in terms of creative burnout when you're feeling uninspired. And that process in taking breaks, whether if it's a few minutes, a few days, a few weeks, allow yourself to take breaks in between projects, because if you don't, instead of being minutes, days, weeks, it can turn into years, and it can turn into several years. And that is what nobody wants. You don't want your burnout to last years to the point where you can't bring yourself to start the next project because you're like, I don't know what to do. Like you're saying to yourself, the project's just not going to work out. It's just a failure, and I just can't accept failure. And some people can't. It's hard for them to break through that barrier because it's such a difficult obstacle to overcome and to recover from and return with fresh or creative ideas. And again, if you're experiencing a burnout, give yourself the time to take a break. No matter how long that is, you want to come back to your project re-energized with fresh ideas and being like, oh, I have this, like, if you're painting an environment or you're painting a character, oh my god, I just came up with this idea that I could add a ladybug to my landscape painting because it's the spring and it would be such a great addition to the painting. Or you're like, oh, I just got this inspiration that I should turn ornaments into character designs. It's all a process, and allowing yourself to be okay with mistakes and taking breaks in between. Even if it's a bad project, take a break. And speaking of being frustrated or being stressed or being mad or angry about a project and how it turned out, it can be regarding a project, it can be regarding life. Allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from them. And what I mean by that is acknowledge that when you are feeling these emotions, it's okay. This is leaning back into the previous topic, which is trust. Trusting these emotions to heal you and allow you to process them in a healthy way, because bottling them up, it'll only build until it pops and you make a mistake or you feel frustrated and you want to lash out. Take kickboxing classes or defense classes such as that, anything to just let your anger out and in a healthy way and not say something you might regret, because in those moments you want to just not only fixate on the joys and pleasures in life, which is what we talked about earlier, and because this is a necessary process, and trusting in yourself to let yourself process these emotions and heal you. Because be okay with failure, knowing that you spent 1 hour with a painting or a drawing or a sketch. Even if it's bad, it's something that you can look back on, and if you just throw those sketches away, you won't learn from them because you won't know what about them didn't work. And sometimes it's okay to keep a few bad drawings because you'll have some to compare when you had bad ideas versus good ideas. And that's why I think it's really necessary to allow yourself to fail, and don't be afraid to fail, because those who don't learn from their mistakes don't know what it's like to be able to build that intuition and knowing, you know, when it's a bad idea or a good idea. And it's good to have, you know, not a library of, you know, projects that you know have failed and projects that you know have gone well. And so you're building this library in your head, knowing what's right and what's wrong. And so that's a necessary process, because being afraid to fail is knowing that you can make it better in the next project. And that's what you want to keep doing. You want to take what didn't work in the previous project and improve on it. And that is a very necessary step for an artist. So we covered being okay with failure, and the reason why I decided to talk about that process and being okay with failure is because that's how we learn. That's the only way humans learn, in knowing what did or didn't work, because the only way you're not going to know if something works out is if you don't try. And like, that's why I feel trust plays a big part of it, is because when you develop that trusting process and opening yourself up and taking risks that are necessary, and knowing that if something is going to work out or not, the only way you're going to know is if you try. And so developing the trusting process, being okay with failure, are both necessary steps in deciding what your passion is in art. And that's the next segment. I know. Perfect segment. We're doing good. We're doing amazing. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I also went through this process. And so I hope that hopefully this can remind you or be a refresher. If you're just starting out in art, if you're just starting a new career path, or you're switching career paths, you know, this can apply to anybody. And I just want you to know that, because things that we may learn in art is like a creative path, and creative path can be for anybody. It doesn't have to mean that you're pursuing it full time. It can just mean that you're doing it as a hobby, and that's okay. And the reason why I mentioned that is because graphic design, I don't know, but yes, my brain, um, some different types of like career paths would be animation, graphic design, illustration, and photography, and sculpting. There's like so many paths, so many different types of art. So pretty much like field. Just imagine like a giant field of like grass, and, you know, just like chasing after one. And you don't want to limit yourself to only trying one. You want to allow yourself to try one, learn from it, maybe fail, make a mistake, and decide if it's for you, you know? And if it's not, you have like 10, you have 20, you have so many options, and you don't want to restrict yourself from trying all the different from trying or dabbling in all the other different mediums, because you'll never know what you truly like if you don't try them and allow yourself to learn and understand what you do or don't like. And in the end, maybe you'll find one that you click with, and it's just like it just turns on a switch in your head and you're like, I love this. And for me, that was animation, because when I grew up, I watched so much television. I watched a lot of TV shows, Cartoon Network, Disney. We're not going to go into those, but animation. Oh my god, my brain. Animation was where I found my passion, and I love animating. There's just something about seeing a character come to life, and it just gets me excited. That's why I love animating 2D or 3D. I do both 2D animation and motion graphics, so I mix a few things, storytelling and graphic design. So I'm learning, and it's okay to like two things. It's okay to like three things. It's, you know, if you're pursuing this as a hobby, it's okay to like, drawing, doodling, sketching, but also designing, but also crafting. Combine them, have fun with them. The only reason you should focus on one is because you're pursuing it full time and you're applying to jobs, and you want your full-time job to be doing that specific one thing for either like a few years. It doesn't matter. The main point is allow yourself to experiment and try different things, because if you don't know what you like, you'll never know until you try them. And sometimes people get fixated on one thing, and that's why I brought up, you don't want to just fixate on one emotion. You want to experience them all. So hopefully you find one and it clicks with you, because we are humans and we may prefer one over the other, or we may prefer having multiple and enjoying them, because it's nice to have a variety when you get burnt out from one and you want to move on to a different type of art. And that's good. It's good to take risks. It's good to know what, again, your likes and dislikes, and you never know until you try them. And so trusting in yourself to fail and make mistakes is such a part. It is a oh my god, it is a necessity. And I hope that any of this has been helpful for you, even if you're trying to get back to drawing, if you're trying to get back into crocheting, etc. Anything regarding art or trying out new things. Allow yourself and trust in yourself, and knowing that it's all part of a learning process, and everything will be okay. It'll work out in the end. You just have to trust your intuition, and I hope that helps you, because it definitely has helped me, and I appreciate your love and support. If you find any of these tips helpful, please leave a like and comment down below. If there's something that you're passionate about, or if you're trying to figure out what you want to do next, leave a comment down below on what you're trying out, really what you're going through. Feel free to leave a comment, and I would love to get back to you. Also, feel free to subscribe, because it's oh my god, my brain. Feel free to oh my god. Feel free to subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications when I post a new video, because if you enjoy these videos, I would love to do more, especially longer videos with like draw with me sessions or gesture sessions. I want to experiment, so leave a comment down below if you want more videos like this where we just talk about, you know, like general tips for losing inspiration or motivation. And you know, if you enjoy these videos, just let me know and leave a comment down below as well if you enjoy these types of videos, because in the next video I'm going to uh, release a fan art. So I want to experiment, and if you enjoy fan art videos, I want to do a real-time fan art drawing video. So I hope that you'll join me, and I hope that you will, you know, continue to support me, because I'm testing out different types of videos, and I hope you enjoy. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Yeah. Mom brain. And so I hope that this is helpful. I just found this article, and I think that it's really helpful, and it's something that I wish that I had maybe 7 years ago. I started the drawing and the painting because I really enjoy telling a story through art, and throughout the process from sketching to final render, I really enjoyed it. It's very desaturated and muted, but I really do enjoy the process, and I want to improve it a lot. And by that I mean I really am committed to improving in my art and my color and also my storytelling, because all of it is essential to my career, and it's really cool. I'm putting trust in taking the time to really make it, you know, the best that it can be, but also not worry about it being perfect, because it will never be perfect. I am mostly committed towards learning new skills and techniques for coloring and storytelling, and applying them on the next project, and taking what did or didn't work and improving on that in the next project. So I really enjoyed this process, and that is why I painted this illustration, and I really had fun with it. So I think that's the main point, is to have fun. Don't worry about it unless it is a portfolio piece. It is just a fun little exercise and personal project that helps me learn how to improve. I wanted to explain why I was covering these topics over a time-lapse drawing, and it was because I wanted to test the waters and see how um, this type of content would do, and if people would enjoy it. So if you enjoy it, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and feel free to leave a comment on what you would like to see next, or what topics you would like me to cover next, because I would definitely appreciate it. Also, if you're just a new viewer or a returning subscriber, I would like to guide you to my other social media platforms, because I stream on Twitch. So if you are on Twitch, I stream art, just dance, and a variety of games from multiplayer to simulation and puzzles, variety. And I hope that you could join me there and also follow me there because I do enjoy interacting with my community. And speaking of community, I would also urge you to join my Discord, which will be in the description below, to join us for sharing art, or maybe you want to share your own art journey. All of it's very necessary, and I hope that you consider joining the community because we love to have you. And I hope that you're doing okay, and I appreciate your support and continue to support me. I appreciate it. And I hope that you have a great day, evening, night, whatever time zone you're in. I hope you have a good one, and thank you again for your generosity and your time. I value everyone's time. So thank you.